Today
is
the 8th day,
8th day.
which is 1/3 of the way through Advent.
Yes, it is. Should we light an Advent candle?
Yes. I will have to get up. In our prep this morning, I forgot to start the water boiling. So you might actually be hearing it in the background as it boils. So I will get up once that's ready. So yes, we apologize for being a bit late. We both slept in a little bit this morning. It was a bit of a rush to get going.
I am not naturally a morning person. Well, maybe I am, but patterns have changed over in my adult life, and yeah, mornings are hard. I had 2 Advent thoughts for discussion, and since we have a lot to fill in before I open the tea, since the water's getting ready now.
Yes.
My first one is, we have lots of Advent traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Some years we've bought one of the chocolate calendars, and I was just gifted one yesterday. I couldn't bring it home from church tonight, and it says it doesn't say anything specifically that it is got gluten in it, but it doesn't explicitly say it has no gluten. So I think I might let you eat the chocolates in it.
I'm not going to argue with that. I like chocolate.
So chocolate Advent calendar are a very common way to count down to Christmas.
Especially for children.
I was never allowed one as a kid. And
I was going to say, most kids I know have had a chocolate Advent calendar at Christmas time. I certainly did as a child.
And that's not like... My parents, I think, made a really wise choice with me that the ones we had were a little bit more traditional, and when you opened them, it was just a Bible verse. Mm-hmm. And I really liked it as a kid. We have found a couple places. The same place we buy these candles has very Victorian, simple ones. But when you open them, they're normally pictures, not Bible verses. And I would like one that had a Bible verse, which is why we do a devotional reading every day. Mm-hmm. My professor was telling us that the candles that we light on Sunday, she lights every day during the month. So as the month goes, so she would actually put her ring here during the devotional and light the candle of hope for the whole week of hope. Okay. She'd light the candle of hope and peace for the whole week of peace.
Very cool. I had originally thought that that's what we were going to do with this one. I hadn't realized we were only going to do the Sunday.
Oh, I had fully planned on that. It's just the first day I didn't know where all that stuff was. And, I mean, we could start that on Peace Week.
Which would be Sunday.
Yeah, and we could just keep it here with this one in the center.
We could do that.
We have another little tracker over here where there's a star and we move it over every day. What other type of Advent-y things have you seen? Oh, I know one. I'll see what you have.
I think I've seen like a Velcro on like a felt marker or something like that. That I think I've seen. And you either move it up or you move it down, depending. Yeah,
we had friends who had one that was a Christmas tree, and that every day they put an ornament on the Christmas tree as you're getting ready every day.
Yeah.
I've seen other ones where it's that same type of pocket thing, and mom puts a gift for that day in that day.
Okay.
Or dad.
Yeah.
An adult. You go get the hot water.
I was going to say the one other one that I've seen. I'll just grab the water first.
Mm-hmm. Is a tea calendar. There's a lot of here, 24 days of cheese, or this beverage, or socks, or...
Yeah, I have a couple of friends of mine who are into role-playing games like us and have gotten the 24 dice of Christmas or whatever, where they get a one die every day of Christmas.
Or Lego every day.
Lego. The one that I saw with you that I thought was really cool, like we got this from David's Tea, and this is the first time we tried it, and it's been really fun.
I would totally do this again.
The one thing that I saw was places like HomeSense and stuff like that. You can get little wooden ones that are empty, and you fill it yourself. So it has little doors or little pull-out drawers like that in a wooden house or something along those lines. So you kind of make your own Advent calendar.
Yeah.
Which I pointed out to you as maybe next year, if this worked out really well, we could get our own teas. fill the little containers, put them in the drawers, and then we could, rather than buying one from David's Tea where they set it up, we can pick our own flavors and do something like that. Or something else we could do something like that where we have a bunch of ornaments in and we pull it out and put it on a tree. But anyways, those types of things I think are really cool.
I've seen some reverse advent calendars where you have a list of things and each day you put it in a bag for the food bank, or one was things like, if you have, for every toilet in your house, put $1 in the piggy bank, and at the end of the month, so that might be one day. The next day is, if you have a reliable car, or for every reliable car you own, put $2 in. So, yeah, and over the course of the month, at the end of the month, or at the end of Advent, you make a donation to something.
Okay.
So I've seen some reverse ones. We have a digital one. After we get off this, we load up Jacqueline Lawson's. Is that the right name?
I think so, yeah.
My dad knows. It's this lovely, every year it's a different location. So the first one I did was a Norwegian theme, and you had to go and find gnomes. This year we're finding animals. Speaking of this year, today for our tea one is Organics Mother's Little Helper.
Oh.
I don't even remember seeing that one in here. Let me see if I can find it. I have not opened it or anything. There's organic. So this is a herbal infused tea, 0 caffeine. There's organic peppermint, organic lemongrass, organic hibiscus, organic rosehip, organic chamomile, organic valerian root, cornflowers, natural peppermint flavoring, and it's kosher. And it is 20% fair trade. That is our tea of the day.
I definitely smell the peppermint in there.
Me too. Oh, and it's an herbal one, so it is 200 Fahrenheit for 5 or more minutes.
5 or more minutes. Okay, well that's fine. I can do a 5 or more minutes.
Yeah.
There we
So I
go.
was just wondering if there's other Advent traditions that we don't know about. Like, we often have 2 or 3 Advent calendars. Something we do in the morning, something we do in the evening.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure. Okay, 5 minutes starting. Yeah, I'm not actually sure what else there would be out there. Do you want me to read our devotion?
Well, our devotion's going to go a little differently.
Okay.
We're using off my phone. We finished Embracing Advent, which was a 7-day one, but it was part of a larger devotional.
Mm-hmm.
I might ask Santa Claus for the devotional book. I don't know where we are on the day.
We're working through. We're not at it yet.
Okay. So with YouVersion, I often they put the devotional thought first and then the Bible reading second.
Mm-hmm.
And I often think the reading needs to happen first. So I will read the Bible and hand you the phone.
Okay.
So we are reading from Luke chapter 1, verses 5 to 10. When Herod was king in Judea, there was a Jewish priest named Zechariah. He was a member of the priestly order of Abijah, and his wife Elizabeth was also from the priestly line of Aaron. Zechariah and Elizabeth were righteous in God's eyes, careful to obey all that God's commanded, and all of God's commandments and regulations. They had no children because Elizabeth was unable to conceive, and they were both very old. One day, Zechariah was serving God in the temple, for his order was on duty that week. As with the custom of the priest, he was chosen by lot to enter the sanctuary of the Lord and burn incense. While the incense was being burned, a great crowd stood outside praying.
Okay, so the title of our devotional is Making Room for a Promise. In Luke 1, 5 to 10, It is as if Luke wants us to pay close attention to the symmetry happening between Zechariah and Israel. You can feel the tension rising here amid the waiting. The people of Israel are waiting outside for Zechariah to offer the incense. Zechariah has been waiting to have a child. Israel has been waiting for the Messiah. A barren couple and a barren nation. Zechariah and the people of Israel have both been disappointed as they wait for God to fulfill his promise. The people of Israel have been crying out to God for 400 years to rescue them from their oppressors, but there has been silence on the other end. And Zechariah's very name means Jehovah has remembered. But had God forgotten? This barrenness, this waiting, was not Zechariah and Elizabeth's fault. They had done everything right in the sight of God. And Israel too, hadn't they obeyed God's laws? Where was their Messiah? I ache with them here. I know what it feels like to say all the right prayers and do all the right things, but encounter God's silence in the face of my longings. You too? But what if God's promises need to be gestated over a long time to prepare us to receive them, like a pregnancy? Could it be that God was preparing Israel over 400 years to make them ready for Christ? Could it be that God was maturing Zechariah and Elizabeth until they were ready to receive John? Could it be that God is still shaping us to receive his kingdom into our world? There are many promises I am still waiting on God for in my life. But when I remind myself of the necessary preparation for a promise, I shift my focus away from wondering when will he answer my prayers and on to how he is preparing me to receive his answer when the time is right. What can we do in times of waiting then? We can stay present and allow God to stretch us to make room for what he is maturing inside us and our world. And we can keep watch with expectant hope for what is to come. So there's a ponder. And the ponder is, how might God be maturing you as you wait for him to answer your prayers?
And the next section is actually a breath prayer. Breath prayers are supposed to be as close as we can, something you can breathe in and out during the day. So on the inhale, may your promises come true in my life. Exhale, I can wait with hope. Your promises will come true. I can wait. Simple as a breath. And we have done the first day. So this one is called Making Room in Advent, a 4-day devotional.
Oh, there is our tea time.
And then I'll have to go find a new one. I find I'm a little picky. I read through them. Sometimes the writing style, just what they're speaking of, doesn't jive with where I'm at when I'm choosing or what I'm quite looking for. Not that you can't get something out of something, that a reading that doesn't match your style, but I had an intent. One of the ones I looked at this morning, it was just too short. It was good, but it was less than a paragraph.
Yeah, that's a bit short.
Another one that I found was very lovely, but there was like 8 Bible verses every day, and it wasn't small Bible verses. I remember showing it to you. I'm like, this is good, but it's longer than I had been hoping for.
Yeah, that's a nice like half-hour one before bedtime or something like that. Or like private devotional during a lunch break or something. I don't think it works quite the same.
Not for what we were hoping to do here.
Yeah, our hope here was to have something that was about 4 to 7 minutes. How was it?
Okay. I don't know. I liked my first inhale. But the third one I was like, I think there's a smell I do not like the taste of.
I know I smell the peppermint, but on my first sip, I don't really taste the peppermint.
Just tastes like tea.
Does
Yummy
just taste
tea,
like
but tea. It's tea.
It is tea. It's not bad. It
kind of gets lost. Like, with 24 days, What are the ones I really remember? I'm remembering I don't care for the hot chocolate tea. I am remembering that I liked I think it was such a weird name. The sweet potato pie was one I really enjoyed. I liked yesterday's organic one because it smelled like Christmas.
Yeah, the one with the nutmeg in it.
That's really right now the ones that are sticking out. I was hoping to have all the tins so I could think back on them. They're over there somewhere.
Yes.
I'm not going to go hunting for them. But really, this one, it feels like it's one that is nice enough. But if we were to go in and use this as a base for what are we going to get for the next couple months, I think I would forget about it.
Right.
If that makes any sense. It's nice.
It is nice, but honestly, it doesn't have any distinct flavor difference beyond anything we already have in our tea cupboard.
Yeah. There's also, when I get to this place, right before I smell, the taste is lovely, but there's a smell in there that I don't enjoy, which half the experience of drinking a good cup of tea for me is this moment. And
Might be the lemongrass.
it might be the lemongrass. I don't know. But I like lemongrass in pho. I think lemongrass is in pho.
I don't know. I know that at one point in time, I used to have a small herb garden in my house. I had like 4 or 5 little window boxes.
Till you had a cat who ate it all.
And I had them planted like half and half with different herbs. And at one point, one of the things that I'd planted was lemon balm. And when the plant was quite high, it didn't take long to get really very high. It had this lovely south-facing window, so they just kind of sat in the window and just got watered every morning. They grew quite quickly. I had taken all the leaves off of it that were, nice green leaves, and I put them in a container and I let them all dry. And I brought them to work, and I would actually just dump them in hot water and make tea that way. And I really, really liked it. And then I ended up growing lemongrass at one point, and I was surprised. It was a very, very different flavor. I would not have used the lemongrass for tea, but I like the lemon balm in the tea.
Okay. Headache Halo is another one that was lovely, but I wouldn't naturally remember it. The cranberry ginger ale was our first one, and I liked it, I think. I remember it's a Yupon tea. I don't know what I'm familiar with black teas, green teas, white teas, rooibos, and herbal.
Herbal, yeah.
The phrase Yupon seems new to me.
That and the puree or whatever it is for the hot chocolate.
Yeah. We haven't had those ones yet. Hot chocolate we've talked about. The strawberry rhubarb parfait. What?
I found it too sweet.
You found it too sweet. That's not one we'll keep in our collection. I did like the organic orange spice yesterday.
Yep.
We're having Mother's Little Helper today.
I'm not looking forward to peanut butter brownie, I have to say. I am personally not a big fan of peanut butter.
Candy Cane Crush was...
It was also sweet, but it was sweet in a way that was more enjoyable.
Yeah. And sweet potato pie I've already spoke to as one of my surprisingly favorites. I'd like to try it again. Have we hit?
We're just coming into the 8 now.
Oh. Was it a larger gap than yesterday? Or did
I think so. We blew it out just as it touched the 7, whereas the previous time we let it go down below the lumber a little bit.
Okay. As long as I don't let it go past the 8 so much that we don't have 9 to build. Done that once this month. One of the things I really like about having our early morning chat over tea is in previous years where we did this during our supper time, if there was an event at the church, if we had a special outing that night, the candle would get forgotten. And so we would be really good until about now. And then there'd be like this chunk of days or this chunk of days that we didn't burn for some reason, and then like around the 21st we'd just have a day where we would light the candle and like watch it just count down a lot in one day, or over 2 days we would have to like light for 4 or 5 like
Yeah.
get many inches of the candle had to go down.
They have the place that we get this from. They have 3 different types of candles. They have this one, which is the tapered candle. They have a more standard, like white one, which is a non-tapered candle. It's a fairly like it's like these types of candles, but longer and thinner. But
Yeah,
it's
a
this type
normal,
of like
a standard 12-inch
Yeah.
candle.
And then they have a pillar candle. And the pillar candle has like a 1-inch or 1.5-inch base and sits about this high. And one of the years we're like, oh, we really enjoyed our candle. Let's get the pillar candle and we can burn it longer. And I think we finished burning that one sometime in the middle of January because
Oh no, was that the one that we got the Christmas tree?
Yeah.
The Christmas tree was like, you know those beautiful candles that are like large trees? And the top of the month was fine, but by the end of it, we would need to leave it lit for like 3 or 4 hours just to get from one day to the next.
And not only that, there was so much stuff going on that year that there were so many days
we never finished it. We never finished it. It also hit a place where the wick had like gone in uneven, so it stopped burning the numbers. It was too far over from the. It was a strange candle year that year.
Yeah. But yeah, we do often have days where we forget. So this has become a really great way of ensuring that we burn our candle every day.
Yes. So I think it's almost time for us to sign out.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to say a prayer for the day.
Please.
And then we are going to go on to our digital advent calendar in our Edwardian little village looking for animals this year. So we have found sheepies, and a robin, and a toad, and a pheasant.
And a deer.
And a deer yesterday. Mm-hmm. And some swans. So today we're going to go off and find what our animal is. It's going to be lovely. It's
hedgehog.
I would love to find a hedgehog. And then we're going to get on with our day.
Yes.
Okay, let's pause. Lord, as we wait with anticipation, as we wait actively, may our waiting be rewarded. We trust you for good things. We trust you to keep your word. Be with us today and in the rest of this Advent season. Amen.
Amen.
Friends, we will see you again tomorrow.